A 1950s housewife loaded her pot in the morning, set it on low, and let time do the work while she went about her day. The cheapest roast, a handful of beans, a tough old hen, all of it became fork tender by supper. It built the all-day cooking culture that fed American families long before the crock pot ever existed. These are 25 forgotten slow cooker recipes from the 1950s no one makes anymore. Subscribe before we begin. The countdown starts now. Yankee pot roast. The all-day roast that simmered low with vegetables until the cheapest cut of beef fell apart at the touch of a fork. A chuck roast cost 79 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $19. Onion, carrots, potatoes, and broth. Total then under $2. Today, under $22. Fed 8. You brown the roast and set it in the deep well cooker with vegetables and broth. You cook it low all afternoon. The roast falls apart. The gravy goes dark and rich. The vegetables soak up everything. Yankee pot roast came from New England colonial cooking. By 1955, it was the Sunday all-day standard nationwide. The cheapest roast turned tender by a whole afternoon of patience. Chicken fricassee. The creamy chicken stew that simmered low all day until the meat fell off the bone into a rich sauce. A whole chicken cost 49 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $2.99. Butter, flour, broth, and milk. Total then under $2. Today, under $10. Fed 6. You brown the chicken and set it low all day in a sauce of broth and milk. The sauce goes ivory and rich. The chicken falls off the bone. A squeeze of lemon brightens it. Chicken fricassee came from French colonial cooking. By 1955, it was an all-day Sunday standard nationwide. Creamy chicken simmered tender over a whole afternoon. Chili con carne. The chili that simmered ground beef and beans low all day until the flavors melted together into something deep and rich. Ground beef cost 39 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $5.50. Kidney beans, tomatoes, onion, and chili powder. Total then under $1. Today, under $8. Fed 6. You brown the beef and set it low all day with beans, tomatoes, and chili powder. The chili goes thick and dark. The beans soften completely. The flavor deepens all day. Chili con carne came from Tex-Mex traditions. By 1956, it was an all-day standard nationwide. All-day chili that tasted like it simmered forever. Beef stew. The classic that simmered beef and vegetables low all day into a thick, rich stew waiting at supper. Stew beef cost 69 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $7.99. Potatoes, carrots, onion, and broth. Total then under $1.50. Today, under $12. Fed 6. You set beef, potatoes, carrots, and onion low all day in broth. The beef goes tender. The broth thickens. The vegetables soak up everything. Beef stew came from universal stew traditions. By 1955, it was an all-day standard nationwide. The stew that defined all-day cooking. Swiss steak in tomato gravy. The tough, round steak braised low all day in tomato until it surrendered into something tender and rich. Round steak cost 59 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $6. Canned tomatoes, onion, and flour. Total then under $1. Today, under $9. Fed 6. You dredge the steak in flour and brown it. You set it low with tomatoes and onion all day. The steak goes fork tender. The gravy thickens dark and red. The onions melt into it. Swiss steak came from American and British braising traditions. By 1956, it was an all-day weeknight standard nationwide. The toughest steak made tender by low, slow heat. Old hen stew. The stew that simmered a tough old laying hen low all day until the meat fell from the bone into a golden broth. A spent hen cost 49 cents in 1955, today around $3. Onion, celery, carrot, and noodles. Total then under $1. Today under $8. Fed 8. You simmer the hen low all day with vegetables. You strain the broth and add noodles at the end. The hen falls off the bone. The broth goes deep golden. The noodles soak it up. Old hen stew came from farm and Appalachian cooking. By 1955, it was the way every farm family used a spent hen. A tough old hen turned tender by a full day of patience. Boston baked beans. The beans that baked low all day with molasses and salt pork until thick, dark, and sweet. Dried navy beans cost 15 cents in 1956, today around $2. Salt pork, molasses, and onion. Total then under 50 cents, today under $5. Fed 8. You layer beans with salt pork, molasses, and onion. You bake them low all day, adding water as needed. The beans go thick and dark. The molasses caramelizes. The salt pork flavors everything. Boston baked beans came from New England colonial cooking. By 1956, they were a Saturday night standard nationwide. Beans baked all day into thick, sweet richness. Goulash. The Hungarian beef stew that simmered low all day with paprika until deep, rich, and tender. Stew beef cost 69 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $7.99. Onion, paprika, and tomatoes. Total then, under $1.50. Today, under $12. Fed 6. You set beef, onion, paprika, and tomatoes low all day. The beef goes tender. The sauce goes deep red. The whole pot smells like an old country kitchen. Goulash came from Hungarian peasant cooking. By 1955, it was an all-day standard in immigrant-rooted homes. All-day goulash that tasted like the old country. Oxtail stew. The rich, gelatinous stew that simmered oxtails low all day until the meat fell from the bone. Oxtails cost 69 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $6. Onion, carrot, tomato, and broth. Total then under $1.50. Today, under $12. Fed 4. You set oxtails low all day with vegetables and broth. The meat falls from the bone. The broth goes dark and gelatinous. The vegetables go soft. Oxtail stew came from Black, Italian, and Irish American traditions. By 1955, it was an all-day Sunday standard in working-class homes. Oxtails slow-cooked all day into deep, rich stew. Corned beef and cabbage. The Irish-American supper that slow-cooked corned beef all day with cabbage and potatoes until everything went tender. A corned beef brisket cost 99 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $6. Cabbage, potatoes, and carrots. Total then under $2. Today, under $14. Fed 8. You simmer the brisket low all day. You add cabbage and potatoes near the end. The corned beef goes fork tender. The cabbage goes soft. The potatoes soak up the salty broth. Corned beef and cabbage came from Irish-American traditions. By 1955, it was a Sunday all-day standard nationwide. A whole Irish supper, slow-cooked while you were away. Brunswick stew. The southern stew that simmered chicken, vegetables, and lima beans low all day into a thick, hearty pot. A whole chicken cost 49 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $2.99. lima beans, corn, tomatoes, and potatoes. Total then under $2. Today, under $10. Fed 8. You simmer chicken low all day with vegetables until everything melts together. The chicken falls apart. The stew goes thick. The vegetables soak up the broth. Brunswick stew came from Southern cooking in Virginia and Georgia. By 1956, it was an all-day Sunday standard across the South. A thick Southern stew simmered all day long. Split pea soup. The thick green soup that simmered dried peas and a ham bone low all day into velvet. A bag of split peas cost 25 cents in 1955. Today, around $2. A ham bone, onion, and carrot. Total then under 50 cents. Today, under $5. Fed 8. You set split peas, a ham bone, and vegetables low all day. The peas dissolve completely. The soup goes thick and green. The ham flavors everything. Split pea soup came from European and American thrift cooking. By 1955, it was a winter all-day standard nationwide. Dried peas in, velvet soup out, a whole day later. Beef tongue with gravy. The slow-cooked beef tongue that simmered all day until tender, then sliced thin in a rich gravy. A beef tongue cost 39 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $8. Onion, bay leaf, and flour. Total then under $1. Today, under $10. Fed 6. You simmer the tongue low all day with onion and bay leaf. You peel and slice it, then serve in gravy. The tongue goes meltingly tender. The gravy goes rich. The meat slices clean. Beef tongue came from European and Jewish American traditions. By 1956, it was an all-day Sunday standard in many homes. The forgotten cut, slow-cooked tender over a whole day. Ham and bean pot. The all-day pot that turned a ham bone and dried beans into a smoky, hearty supper. A ham bone cost 20 cents in 1955. Today, around $2. Dried beans, onion, and carrot. Total then under 50 cents. Today, under $5. Fed 8. You set a ham bone in the pot with soaked beans and vegetables. You cook low all day. The beans go creamy. The broth turns smoky. The ham falls off the bone. Ham and bean pot came from American thrift cooking. By 1955, it was a Monday standard nationwide. A ham bone and beans simmered all day into supper. You remember walking in the door to that smell. You did not know the work behind it. You only knew that home smelled like something good and that someone was waiting. Smothered round steak. The cheap steak smothered in onions and slow-cooked all day until tender and rich. Round steak cost 59 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $6. Onion, flour, and broth. Total then under $1. Today, under $8. Fed 4. You dredge the steak in flour and brown it. You set it low with onions and broth all day. The steak goes completely tender. The gravy goes dark and oniony. Beef and barley stew. The thick stew that simmered beef and barley low all day until rich and hearty. Stew beef cost 69 cents a pound in 1955. Today around $7.99. Barley, carrot, onion, and broth. Total then under $1.50. Today under $12. Fed 8. You set beef, barley, and vegetables low all day in broth. The barley swells and thickens the stew. The beef goes tender. The broth turns rich and dark. Beef and barley stew came from Eastern European and Jewish American traditions. By 1955, it was a winter all-day standard nationwide, a thick, hearty pot that cooked itself all day. Pork and sauerkraut. The German supper that slow-cooked pork and sauerkraut all day until tender and sweet. A pork shoulder cost 49 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $3.49. Sauerkraut, onion, and caraway. Total then under $1. Today, under $7. Fed 6. You layer pork and sauerkraut with onion and caraway. You cook low all day. The pork falls apart. The kraut goes sweet and tender. The whole pot smells like a German kitchen. Pork and sauerkraut came from German and Pennsylvania Dutch traditions. By 1956, it was an all-day standard nationwide. Pork and kraut melting together all day long. Stuffed cabbage rolls. The Eastern European rolls slow-cooked all day in tomato until soft and tender. Ground beef cost 49 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $5.50. Cabbage, rice, onion, and tomatoes. Total then under $1.50. Today, under $9. Fed 6. You wrap beef and rice in cabbage leaves. You set them low in tomato sauce all day. The cabbage goes soft and sweet. The filling cooks through. The sauce thickens around them. Stuffed cabbage came from Polish and Hungarian traditions. By 1956, it was an all-day Sunday standard in immigrant homes. A whole Sunday dish slow-cooked while you went about your day. Lima bean and ham casserole. The all-day casserole that baked lima beans low with ham until creamy and rich. Dried lima beans cost 20 cents in 1956. Today, around $2.49. Ham, onion, and tomato. Total then under 60 cents. Today, under $6. Fed 6. You layer soaked limas with ham and onion. You bake low all day, adding water as needed. The limas go creamy. The ham flavors the pot. The whole dish goes thick and rich. Lima bean and ham casserole came from Southern and Midwestern cooking. By 1956, it was an all-day standard nationwide. Lima beans and ham, baked slow into creamy comfort. Beef heart pot roast. The cheap beef heart slow-cooked all day until tender, sliced and served like a roast. A beef heart cost 29 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $5. Onion, carrot, and broth. Total then under $1. Today, under $8. Fed 6. You set the beef heart low all day with onion, carrot, and broth. The heart goes tender. The broth turns into gravy. The meat slices clean. Beef heart pot roast came from thrift and farm cooking. By 1955, it was an all-day supper in homes that used every cut. The cheapest cut, slow-cooked into a tender roast. Navy bean soup. The smoky white bean soup that simmered low all day from dried beans and a ham bone. A bag of navy beans cost 15 cents in 1956. Today, around $2. A ham bone, onion, and carrot. Total then under 50 cents. Today, under $5. Fed 8. You set navy beans, a ham bone, and vegetables low all day. The beans go creamy. The broth turns smoky. The ham flavors everything. Navy bean soup came from American thrift cooking. By 1956, it was a Monday standard nationwide. A pot of smoky bean soup for pocket change. Stuffed bell peppers. The peppers slow-cooked all day, stuffed with beef and rice until the shells went soft and sweet. Ground beef cost 49 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $5.50. Bell peppers, rice, and tomato sauce. Total then under $1.50. Today under $9. Fed 5. You stuff the peppers with beef and rice. You set them low in tomato sauce all day. The peppers go tender and sweet. The filling cooks through. The sauce thickens around them. Pot liquor and greens. The all-day pot of greens simmered low with a ham hock until the pot liquor went dark and rich. A bunch of greens cost a few cents in 1955. A ham hock cost 15 cents. Onion and pepper. Total then under 25 cents. Today under $4. Fed 6. You simmer greens low all day with a ham hock until tender. The greens go dark and tender. The pot liquor turns smoky and rich. The ham flavors everything. Pot liquor and greens came from Southern black cooking. By 1955, it was an all-day Sunday standard across the South. Greens slow-cooked all day into smoky, rich pot liquor. Beef Burgundy. The French dish that braised beef low all day in red wine until it dissolved into a rich, dark stew. Stew beef cost 69 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $7.99. Red wine, mushrooms, and onion. Total then under $2. Today under $14. Fed 6. You brown the beef and set it low all day with wine, mushrooms, and onion. The beef goes tender. The wine reduces into a dark, glossy sauce. The mushrooms soak it up. Beef Burgundy came from French Bœuf Bourguignon. By 1956, it was a dinner party all-day standard nationwide. French cooking made tender by a whole day of patience. Veal stew. The gentle stew that simmered cubes of veal low all day in a creamy sauce until fork tender. Veal stew meat cost 79 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $11. Onion, carrot, broth, and cream. Total then under $1.50. Today under $14. Fed 6. You brown the veal and set it low all day with onion, carrot, and broth. You stir in cream at the end. The veal goes meltingly tender. The sauce goes pale and rich. The vegetables soften throughout. Veal stew came from French and Italian immigrant traditions. By 1955, it was an all-day Sunday standard in immigrant homes. Delicate veal simmered tender over a whole afternoon. Short ribs with gravy. The beef short ribs slow-cooked all day until the meat fell from the bone into a deep, dark gravy. Short ribs cost 49 cents a pound in 1956. Today, around $19. Onion, garlic, tomato, and broth. Total then under $1.50. Today, under $22. Fed 4. You brown the ribs and set them low all day with onion, garlic, and broth. The ribs separate from the bone. The gravy reduces and darkens. The meat goes meltingly tender. Short ribs came from French and American braising traditions. By 1956, they were a Sunday all-day standard nationwide. Lamb shank stew. The lamb shanks slow-cooked all day with root vegetables until the meat fell from the bone. Lamb shanks cost 59 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $8. Onion, carrot, turnip, and broth. Total then under $1.50. Today under $12. Fed 4. You brown the shanks and set them low all day with root vegetables and broth. The lamb falls from the bone. The broth goes deep and rich. The root vegetables soak it up. Lamb shank stew came from Irish and Greek immigrant traditions. By 1955, it was an all-day Sunday standard in immigrant homes. Tough lamb shanks turned tender by a whole day of patience. Smothered chicken. The chicken slow-cooked all day in onion gravy until it fell off the bone into a rich, dark sauce. A whole chicken cost 49 cents a pound in 1955. Today, around $2.99. Onion, flour, and broth. Total then under $1.50. Today, under $9. Fed 6. You dredge the chicken in flour and brown it. You set it low all day with onion and broth. The chicken falls off the bone. The gravy goes dark and oniony. The whole pot smells like Sunday. Smothered chicken came from Southern black cooking. By 1955, it was an all-day Sunday standard across the South. Chicken slow-cooked all day into rich, fall-off-the-bone comfort. Slow cooker stuffed cabbage rolls. The Eastern European Sunday dish that the crock-pot made effortless. Cabbage leaves wrapped around beef and rice, simmered all day in tomato sauce. Ground beef cost 39 cents a pound in 1973. Today, around $5.50. A head of cabbage, rice, onion, and canned tomatoes. Total then under $1.25. Today, under $9. Fed 6. You blanch the cabbage leaves. You roll beef and rice inside each one. You layer them in the crock with tomato sauce. You set it on low for 7 hours. The cabbage goes soft and sweet. The filling cooks through. The sauce thickens around the rolls. Crock-pot cabbage rolls came from Polish and Hungarian immigrant traditions, adapted to the slow cooker. By 1973, they were a Sunday standard in working-class homes. A whole Sunday dish made while you were at church. Slow cooker beef burgundy. The French dish that the crock-pot made achievable for any working family. Beef braised all day in red wine until it dissolved into a rich, dark stew. Stew beef cost 69 cents a pound in 1973. Today, around $7.99. Red wine, mushrooms, onion, and beef broth. Total then under $2. Today, under $14. Fed 6. You brown the beef and add it to the crock with wine, mushrooms, onion, and broth. You set it on low for 8 hours. The beef goes completely tender. The wine reduces into a dark, glossy sauce. The mushrooms soak up everything. Crock-pot beef burgundy came from French bœuf bourguignon, adapted to the American slow cooker. By 1973, it was a dinner party standard in homes nationwide. French cooking made foolproof by a counter-appliance. Crock-pot pot roast with onion soup mix. The Sunday roast made impossibly easy. A chuck roast, a packet of onion soup mix, and 8 hours of doing nothing. A chuck roast cost $1.29 in 1972. Today, around $19. Onion soup mix, carrots, and potatoes. Total then under $2. Today, under $22. Fed 8. You lay the roast in the crock with carrots and potatoes. You sprinkle the soup mix over and add water. You set it on low for 8 hours. The roast falls apart. The gravy goes dark and rich. The vegetables soak up everything. Crock-pot pot roast with onion soup mix appeared in the Rival booklet in 1971. By 1972, it was the most famous slow cooker dinner in America. 1 packet of soup mix. The easiest Sunday roast ever made. Slow cooker split pea soup. The thick green soup that the crock-pot made effortless. Dried peas and a ham bone slowly melting into a velvety pot of supper. A bag of split peas cost 25 cents in 1973. Today, around $2. A ham bone, onion, carrot, and celery. Total, then, under 50 cents. Today, under $5. Fed 8. You drop split peas in the crock with a ham bone, onion, carrot, and celery. You cover with water. You set it on low for 9 hours. The peas dissolve completely. The soup goes thick and green. The ham flavors everything. Crock-pot split pea soup came from European and American thrift cooking. By 1973, it was a winter standard in homes nationwide. Dried peas in, velvet soup out. 9 hours later. Slow cooker corned beef and cabbage. The Irish-American supper that the crock-pot made foolproof. Corned beef simmered all day with cabbage and potatoes until everything went tender. A corned beef brisket cost 99 cents a pound in 1973. Today, around $6. Cabbage, potatoes, carrots, and onion. Total then under $2. Today, under $14. Fed 8. You lay the brisket in the crock with potatoes, carrots, and onion. You add water and set it on low for 9 hours. You add cabbage in the last hour. The corned beef goes fork tender. The cabbage goes soft. The potatoes soak up the salty broth. Crock-pot corned beef came from Irish-American traditions adapted to the slow cooker. By 1973, it was a St. Patrick's Day and Sunday standard nationwide. A whole Irish supper made while you were away. You remember coming home to it, the door opening, that wave of warm, savory air, the pot that meant someone planned ahead because they loved you. Slow cooker chicken and dumplings. The Sunday comfort dish made easy. Chicken slow cooked all day with dumplings dropped in at the end. A whole chicken cut up cost 49 cents a pound in 1973. Today, around $2.99. Flour, baking powder, milk, and vegetables. Total then under $1.50. Today, under $9. Fed 6. You slow cook the chicken with vegetables and broth for 7 hours. You drop dumpling dough on top and cook 1 more hour on high. The chicken falls off the bone. The dumplings puff soft. The broth goes golden and thick. Crock-pot chicken and dumplings came from Southern cooking adapted to the slow cooker. By 1973, it was a Sunday standard nationwide. Sunday comfort food without standing at the stove.